Earthquakes are one of the most destructive forces on our planet. In a matter of seconds, entire cities can be reduced to rubble, leaving behind devastation and chaos. But sometimes, the aftermath is even more shocking than the quake itself. Today, we're counting down the top 5 earthquakes with the most unbelievable and devastating aftermaths. From catastrophic tsunamis to ground-shattering landslides, these are the quakes that changed the world forever. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.1 earthquake struck off the coast of Japan, triggering one of the deadliest tsunamis in modern history. The earthquake alone was one of the largest ever recorded, but it was the tsunami that followed which led to unimaginable destruction. The earthquake occurred along the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates are particularly active. The underwater displacement caused by the quake generated a massive tsunami that reached heights of over 40 meters in some areas. To make matters worse, the tsunami severely damaged the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, leading to a catastrophic nuclear meltdown. Radioactive material was released into the atmosphere, forcing tens of thousands of people to evacuate. The 2011 Japan earthquake and tsunami left over 15,000 dead and caused one of the worst nuclear disasters in history, with the cleanup effort expected to last decades. Its aftermath is a grim reminder of how powerful nature can be, even in a highly developed country. In January 2010, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit the small island nation of Haiti. Though not the largest earthquake on record, it was one of the deadliest, with an estimated 230,000 lives lost. But what made this earthquake even more tragic was the human cost that unfolded in the days, weeks, and months after the shaking stopped. Haiti's infrastructure was not designed to withstand an earthquake. Many of the buildings were constructed with substandard materials, which collapsed almost immediately during the quake. This lack of preparedness dramatically increased the death toll. In the aftermath, over 1 million people were left homeless. Makeshift camps sprung up all over the capital, leading to severe public health crises, including a cholera outbreak that further devastated the population. International aid poured into Haiti, but logistical challenges slowed the delivery of essential supplies. For months, people struggled to access clean water, food, and medical care. The 2010 Haiti earthquake revealed not only the destructive power of nature, but also the tragic consequences of poverty and lack of infrastructure. A decade later, the country is still recovering from the disaster. On December 26, 2004, a 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. The earthquake triggered one of the deadliest tsunamis in recorded history, devastating coastal communities across 14 countries. The Indian Ocean earthquake caused the seabed to rise by several meters, displacing massive amounts of water. The resulting tsunami reached heights of up to 30 meters in some areas and traveled at speeds of up to 800 kilometers per hour. The aftermath was horrific. An estimated 230,000 people lost their lives, with entire communities wiped out. The sheer scale of destruction was unprecedented, as the tsunami reached as far as Africa. In the aftermath, global relief efforts mobilized on a massive scale, but rebuilding entire regions from scratch proved a monumental task. Many survivors were left without homes, livelihoods, or family members. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami reshaped entire coastlines and reminded the world of the catastrophic power of seismic activity under the sea. It remains one of the most devastating natural disasters in modern history. In the early hours of July 28, 1976, the city of Tangshan, China, was rocked by a devastating 7.5 magnitude earthquake. In less than a minute, 85% of the buildings in Tangshan were flattened, leaving an estimated 242,000 people dead, the deadliest earthquake of the 20th century. Tangshan was an industrial city, and the earthquake struck with little warning. The majority of the buildings were not designed to withstand such powerful shaking, leading to a high casualty rate. Rescue teams from across China were mobilized, but the scale of the disaster made relief efforts difficult. With communication systems down and roads destroyed, many survivors were left to fend for themselves in the immediate aftermath. Tangshan's aftermath was made worse by the lack of preparation and the immense population density. The Chinese government kept details of the earthquake and the full extent of the damage secret for many years. It took years for Tangshan to recover, and even today, the scars of the disaster are still visible. The Tangshan earthquake remains a somber reminder of how quickly an entire city can be brought to its knees. On April 18, 1906, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake hit San Francisco, shaking the city to its core. But the earthquake itself was only part of the disaster. What followed was a firestorm that raged for days, consuming over 80% of the city. The earthquake triggered multiple fires across the city, and with broken water lines, firefighters struggled to control the flames. The fires caused more damage than the earthquake itself, leaving over 3,000 dead and hundreds of thousands homeless. San Francisco was rebuilt from the ground up, and its recovery became a symbol of American resilience. But the earthquake fundamentally changed the way cities across the world think about disaster preparedness. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake is not only remembered for its destruction, but for the lessons it taught about building stronger, more resilient cities in the face of natural disasters. Earthquakes have the power to reshape the world around us, leaving behind destruction that can take decades to recover from. But in the aftermath of these disasters, we also see human resilience and the strength to rebuild. Thanks for watching this countdown of the top 5 earthquakes with unbelievable aftermaths. If you want to see more stories of nature's most powerful forces, make sure to subscribe to Storm Journey for more incredible footage and analysis.